Hello, seniors. What you need to know about fruit and blood sugar. Are you living with diabetes or prediabetes and confused about which fruits you can safely eat? I'm Dr. Zoey Scott, and I understand the confusion because I see it every single day in my practice. One patient tells me their previous doctor said no fruit at all. Another read online that all fruit is fine in moderation. A third heard that berries are okay, but tropical fruits will kill you. With so much contradictory advice floating around, it's no wonder people with diabetes feel paralyzed when they walk past the produce section. Some people avoid fruit entirely out of fear, missing out on valuable nutrients their bodies need. Others eat fruit without any guidance, then wonder why their blood sugar spikes unpredictably. Today, I want to clear up this confusion once and for all. I'm going to share a list of the 10 best fruits for stable blood sugar, and the 5 fruits you need to be more careful with, based not on opinion or outdated guidelines, but on actual scientific measurements of how these fruits affect your blood glucose. But here's the most important part, and I need you to hear this clearly. There's no such thing as a forbidden fruit, not one. I don't believe in absolute prohibitions because they don't work in real life. What I believe in is informed choices. The difference is that some fruits require more caution and smaller portions, while others you can enjoy with more confidence because they're not only safe for blood sugar, they provide essential vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants that support your overall health and metabolism. The truth is this: people with diabetes not only can eat fruit, they absolutely should eat fruit. Fruit provides nutrients that protect your heart, support your immune system, and help your body function optimally. The key isn't whether to eat fruit. The key is knowing which ones to choose, how much to eat, and when to eat them. That's exactly what I'm going to teach you today, using 2 scientific measures that every person with diabetes should understand: Glycemic Index and Glycemic Load. Write your country in the comments. And if you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's talk about how to enjoy fruit safely while managing your blood sugar, how to choose the right fruits. Before we get to the list, you need to understand how I'm making these recommendations. I'm not going by intuition or outdated advice. I'm using 2 precise scientific measures. First is the Glycemic Index, or GI. Think of this as speed. When you eat a fruit, does the sugar enter your bloodstream as fast as a race car or as slowly as someone taking a leisurely walk? High GI above 70 means glucose spikes immediately. That's not what we want. Low GI below 55 means glucose rises slowly and smoothly. That's our goal. The second measure is glycemic load, or GL. This is equally important but often overlooked. If GI is speed, GL is quantity. It tells you how much sugar actually enters your body in a realistic portion. Low GL below 10 is very safe. High GL above 20 is a red flag, the golden formula for living well with diabetes. Choose fruits with both low GI and low GL. For fairness, I'm going to standardize everything to the same weight, about 4 Oz or 120 gram. We're not comparing a huge watermelon slice to a tiny grape. We're comparing apples to apples, so to speak, based on science. The 10 best fruits for blood sugar. Let me start with the good news. These are the fruits you can enjoy with confidence. I'm counting down from number 10 to number 1. Number 10 appears sweet but safe. Pears have a GI of 38 and a GL of only 4. Those are excellent numbers. If you're craving something sweet, reach for a pear. Number 9, apple's nature's doctor. An apple isn't just a fruit, it's health insurance in your hand. GI of 39, GL of 6. Perfect choice. But here's the secret: eat it with the skin on. The skin contains pectin, a type of soluble fiber that helps sweep away bad cholesterol, something people with diabetes need desperately. Plus, the fiber in the skin makes sugar absorb more slowly into your blood. Don't peel away that protective armor. Number 8, passion fruit, the sleep helper. With a GI of 27 and GL of 5, passion fruit is excellent for blood sugar. As a bonus, it's also a natural sleep aid. And as we know, good sleep is crucial for stable blood sugar. Number 7, orange is whole with segments, and the truth about juice. Stop for a moment. I need you to listen carefully to this. Fruit juice is not a friend to people with diabetes. When you squeeze a glass of orange juice, you're throwing away the protective layer of fiber and keeping 23 to 25 grams of sugar. The GL shoots above 20, a high alarm level. Drinking juice is like pumping sugar directly into your bloodstream. But if you eat a whole orange with all its segments, the story changes completely. The fiber holds back the sugar, the GI drops to 40, the GL falls to 5. So, eating an orange? Excellent. Drinking orange juice? Stay away. Let me tell you about David. He was 67, had been diabetic for 10 years, and prided himself on being health conscious. Every morning, without fail, he'd squeeze fresh orange juice, not from a carton, mind you. He had a proper juicer. He'd use 3 or 4 oranges to make a full glass. "It's natural, doctor," he'd tell me. "Fresh fruit, no added sugar. How could it be bad?" His wife would join him, and they'd sit at their breakfast table feeling virtuous about their healthy choice. Meanwhile, his morning blood sugar readings were consistently 170 to 180, sometimes even higher. He'd check his glucose meter, see the number, and feel defeated. "I don't understand," he said during one visit, genuine frustration in his voice. "I take my medication exactly as prescribed. I don't eat pastries or candy. I exercise, but my numbers won't budge." We went through his diet in detail. Lunch was good, dinner was reasonable. Then I asked about breakfast. "Oh, I have oatmeal and fresh orange juice. The healthiest way to start the day." That's when I had to deliver some news he didn't want to hear. I explained that when you juice an orange, you're essentially making sugar water with vitamins. All the protective fiber that would slow down sugar absorption gets left behind in the pulp. 1 glass of orange juice from 3 oranges, I told him, delivers as much sugar as eating those 3 oranges whole, but your body processes it completely differently. The juice hits your bloodstream like a wave. The whole orange is more like a gentle tide. He looked skeptical. Years of believing juice was healthy don't disappear in one conversation, but he agreed to try an experiment for 2 weeks. Instead of juice, he'd eat 1 whole orange with his oatmeal. The first few days were an adjustment. "It's not the same," he admitted. "I miss that big glass of juice," but he stuck with it because his numbers started telling a different story. Within a week, his morning readings dropped to 155, 160. By week 2, he was consistently 140, 150, same medication, same exercise routine. The only change was switching from juice to whole fruit. "I can't believe something so simple made such a difference," he told me at his follow-up, genuine amazement in his voice. 15 years I've been drinking orange juice every morning, 15 years thinking I was being healthy. All that time I was basically starting each day with a sugar bomb. His wife made the switch too. Now they each eat an orange at breakfast, and he told me they actually feel more satisfied. The fiber fills you up in a way the juice never did. He said, "I don't get hungry an hour later like I used to." David's story isn't unique. I've had this same conversation with dozens of patients. The juice industry has done an excellent job convincing us that juice equals fruit, but when it comes to blood sugar management, they're worlds apart. Number 6, kiwi, the double warrior. This is an interesting surprise. Kiwi has a GI of 38 and GL of 9, but why is it ranked so high? Because kiwi is a double warrior. Not only does it help control glucose, it also contains powerful antioxidants that help lower blood pressure. For someone with diabetes, high blood pressure is enemy number 2. Kiwi helps you fight both enemies at once, well worth adding to your daily menu. Number 5, strawberries, the cardiovascular queen. This is one of my favorites. Strawberries have a GI of 41 and GL of 3. That means very little impact on glucose. But the real value is in the anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that protect your cardiovascular system, which is the most vulnerable organ for people with diabetes. If you have the chance, make strawberries a frequent dessert. Number 4, guava tropical superstar. Forget expensive supplements. A single guava has a remarkably low GI of 23 and a GL of just 3. Here I want to stop and debunk a widespread myth. People with diabetes can't eat fruit because fructose damages the liver. Completely false. Fructose is only harmful when it's in concentrated form, like in sodas or corn syrup. The natural fructose in a guava or strawberries is completely harmless and safe for your liver. Don't let unfounded rumors scare you away from healthy fruit. Number 3, avocado green gold for health. We've reached a special exception. Avocado has an incredibly low GI of 10 and a GL of 2. In terms of glucose control, avocado is unbeatable. It contains monounsaturated fats that raise good HDL cholesterol and protect your cardiovascular system. However, there's an important warning. Avocado is very high in calories. While you can eat guava or strawberries more freely, with avocado, you need strategy. Eating too much avocado causes weight gain and excess fat increases insulin resistance. Medical advice: half to 1 avocado per day is the golden dose, enough to get benefits without excess calories. Number 2, peaches, everyone's choice. With a GI of 42 and GL of 4, peaches are an absolutely safe option. I'll take this opportunity to answer a very common question. Doctor, I have prediabetes, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or LAD. Can I eat this? The answer is yes. This list applies to all glucose metabolism disorders except diabetes and insipidus, which is a completely different kidney disease. No matter what stage you're in, peaches remain a faithful friend. Number 1, cherries nutritional champion. And here we have the absolute champion, fresh cherries. Nearly perfect numbers. Very low GI of 27 and GL of only 6. Not only are they safe, they're also packed with anti-inflammatory compounds that protect your blood vessels. But attention, I'm talking about fresh cherries. Don't ever confuse them with those bright red cherries preserved in syrup used to decorate cakes. Those are authentic sugar bombs. Choose fresh cherries and you'll have in your hands one of the most powerful weapons for controlling glucose through food. That completes the top 10. But be careful. The next part is about the 5 fruits that require more caution. Want to know who these sweet deceivers are? Pay close attention because what comes next will probably surprise you. The 5 fruits that require caution. Friends, we've just covered the green safe zone. Now I need you to concentrate even more. We're entering the yellow zone where the line between nutrition and danger becomes very thin. I'm going to list 5 fruits I call seductive risks. When I say worst, I don't mean totally forbidden. In my dictionary, there are no guilty fruits. However, for people with diabetes, these fruits are like driving on a slippery road. You can move forward, but you must slow down, observe, and be twice as careful. Number 5, mango. The king of fruit and also of sugar. Mango is delicious, I know, but with a GI of 56 and GL of 14, it's a demanding king. Many defend mango saying, but doctor, it has lots of fiber. True, it contains fiber. However, the enormous amount of carbohydrates outweighs that benefit. When you eat mango, the sugar ends up winning. Stop a moment. The truth about the chia and flaxseed trick. Speaking of mango's fiber, I want to clarify a dangerous mistake many people make. Some believe that if you eat sweet fruit and add chia, flax seeds, or nuts, then it's safe. The reality is this. Adding chia or flax only reduces the glycemic index, meaning it makes sugar absorb a bit slower, but it doesn't reduce the glycemic load. The total amount of sugar entering your body is still the same. You're even adding more calories and carbs from the seeds. Imagine you owe the bank $100,000. Eating chia is like asking to pay in installments instead of all at once. In the end, you're still paying the same $100,000. Your pancreas still has to produce enough insulin to handle that load, so don't use chia as an excuse to eat sweet fruits without control. It's a trap. Number 4, pineapple. The acidic taste that deceives. Pineapple is tasty and refreshing, but don't let its slightly acidic taste fool you. With a GI of 59 and GL of 14, it clearly sits in a medium I range. On the internet, many rumors circulate saying pineapple burns fat or detoxifies the body. Be careful with that unsupported advice for your pancreas. Pineapple represents a considerable load. Control your portion carefully. Number 3, bananas. The truth about the energy bomb. Bananas are one of the most consumed fruits in the world, but for people with diabetes, they're a big challenge. Look at these cold numbers. GI of 62 and GL of 16. To help you understand better, we saw earlier that avocado has a GL of only 2. A banana delivers a sugar load 8 times greater than an avocado. Many patients argue, doctor, bananas have potassium, vitamins, they're good for muscles. True, I don't deny it, but if your main goal is keeping glucose stable, the price you pay for that potassium is a considerable increase in blood sugar. If you really want to eat a banana, divide it. Don't eat it whole. Half a piece in the morning is the safe limit. Number 2, papaya, a double-edged sword. Papaya is excellent for digestion thanks to the enzyme papain, but with a GI of 58 and GL of 12, it occupies second place on the caution list. The digestive benefit is real, but the risk of raising glucose is also real. Eat small portions and don't make it a daily staple food. Red alert. 2 hidden enemies. Before reaching number 1, I must warn you about 2 factors even more dangerous than the fruit itself. First, dried or dehydrated fruits, jams, candied fruits, and dried fruits. If fresh fruit is a hill, dried fruit is a cliff. Apricots, prunes, raisins. When dehydrated, the water that dilutes the sugar is removed. The sugar becomes concentrated in a very small volume. Their GL usually exceeds 30, an extremely high level. For someone with diabetes, dried fruit isn't fruit. Consider it natural candy. My sincere advice is to eliminate it completely. Even a little is too much. Second, the degree of ripeness. This is basic chemistry. When fruit ripens, starch transforms into sugar. A banana with green peel contains more resistant starch, which is good for the intestine and raises glucose little. But when the peel turns yellow and brown spots appear, that starch has already converted to pure glucose and fructose. So the same fruit can be a friend when green and an enemy when too ripe. Choose to eat fruit when it's just at the point of ripeness or slightly green. Don't wait until it's soft and excessively sweet. Number 1, grapes candies covered in sugar. And finally, the champion of the caution list, grapes. With a GI of 61 and GL of 12, grapes represent a big challenge. You'll hear about the French paradox red wine and resveratrol in grapes as anti-aging substances. True, grapes are very rich in antioxidant polyphenols, but the problem is their small size and sweetness that makes us lose control easily. You plan to eat 5 grapes, and in an instant you've finished an entire bunch of 20. The sugar from grapes absorbs very quickly. If you really want to eat them, count them one by one. Never eat directly from the bunch. Can diabetics eat watermelon? I know many of you are looking for one fruit that hasn't appeared. Watermelon. Why isn't it in the top 10 best or top 5 worst? Because watermelon is a special case. Very interesting from a medical point of view. In terms of benefits, it's a treasure. It contains L-citrulline that helps dilate blood vessels and lower blood pressure very effectively. In terms of indices, it's a paradox. Watermelon has a very high GI above 72, meaning sugar enters the blood very quickly, but its GL is extremely low, only 3 as low as strawberries, because 92% of watermelon is water. In theory, watermelon is quite safe. But here's where I need you to be honest with yourself. The trap is in the psychology. Who among you can cut an exact 4 O's slice, eat it, and stop immediately? Or would you end up eating the second and third until you're full? That's the real problem. The trap isn't in the watermelon, but in the quantity. If you have iron discipline to eat only one portion, watermelon can be a good friend. If not, the brutal speed at which its sugar absorbs can cause you big problems with glucose. The choice depends on your self-control. Where to start? Dear friend, every day I read thousands of comments, and behind the questions about indices and medications, I hear a silent sigh. Doctor, I know I'm eating poorly, but there's too much information, too many prohibitions. I'm lost and don't know where to start. If you feel this way, listen to me. You're not alone. And most importantly, don't try to change everything overnight. That's the biggest mistake that leads most people to failure, especially older adults. I understand your fear. Fear of going hungry. Fear of bland meals. Fear that your body won't tolerate abrupt changes. So, forget the endless lists. Forget complicated medical terms. Today, I just want you to achieve one small victory. If you can only change one thing today, start here. Your breakfast. Why? Because breakfast determines your glucose for the entire day. A breakfast high in sugar will make you feel intense hunger and cravings all afternoon. Try this tomorrow morning. Instead of white bread with filling and sweetened coffee with milk, which is a classic sugar bomb, change it to 2 eggs boiled or fried with little oil and a guava or half an avocado, nothing more. Simple, right? You won't go hungry. The eggs provide protein that keeps you full longer. The fiber from guava keeps glucose stable. You don't need to eliminate rice immediately or skip dinner. Just focus on doing breakfast right tomorrow. When you achieve that, you'll feel your body lighter and your mind clearer. Then you'll have motivation to improve lunch and then dinner. Remember, a small step in the right direction is worth more than standing still out of fear. Progress, however small, is still progress. We'll walk together step by step. What you need to remember, the fight against diabetes isn't a fight of prohibitions, but a fight of intelligent choices. Prioritize the 10 fruits from the earlier list, and if you want to consume any of these 5 caution fruits, bananas, pineapple, mango, papaya, grapes, remember small portions. Consume them when they're not too ripe and never in dehydrated form. This isn't about perfection, it's about making better choices more often. It's about understanding that you have options, that you're not helpless, that knowledge gives you power. If this information was helpful, share it with someone struggling with their blood sugar, a parent, a friend, someone who could use practical science-based guidance. And if you're not subscribed, hit that button and turn on notifications. I make these videos because I believe that understanding the science behind your health gives you the tools to make better decisions. Small changes in what you eat, done consistently, create meaningful improvements in blood sugar control. I'm Dr. Zoey Scott. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next